nourishment. Once that is over, it is a choice of lifestyle. This is the reason why people want affluence, isn't it? The most affluent nation on the planet, which has an enormous choice of nourishment and lifestyles, 70% of the people are on prescription medication. Your healthcare budget is $3 trillion, it can sink a nation, all right? India's budget is $3 trillion for 1.25 billion people. For a quarter billion people, $3 trillion is the healthcare budget. This doesn't speak well of us. It looks like we know nothing about life. Yes or no? If you knew, when there is such a choice of nourishment and lifestyle, we should at least know how to keep ourselves healthful, peaceful, joyful, isn't it? No, we are whining like never before. Those 2-3 generations of this country which really strived to get you where you are today, it's an insult to those people. Their pants were torn because they worked so hard, but today you have to buy new pants and tear them up. It's okay, I have nothing against your fashion. All I'm saying is, for whatever reasons, America has arrived at a place where it has taken on a leadership position in the world, not just politically and militarily, but if you in America wear these blue trousers, half the world is wearing blue trousers, not even knowing why. If you tear up your pants, they're tearing up their pants, not knowing why. Even a kindergarten child today knows this body needs oxygen, but if you pump carbon dioxide into your bottle and say this is the real thing, half the world is drinking it. When you have such a privilege that people are looking up to you for some reason, you doing the right things becomes very, very important, isn't it? Even if you're living a wacky life, suppose you have a child in your house suddenly, when you see the child is looking up to you, if you have little sense, you try to fix yourself. Why? Because somebody is looking up to you, isn't it? Isn't it so? Haven't many of you ironed out many things in your life after you had children? Because someone is looking up to you. In some way, the entire world is looking up to you. Unfortunately today, for the youth in the rest of the world, America means limitless alcohol, America means free drugs, America means free sexuality, America means wacky life. I want you to take this responsibility because privilege has to be complemented with responsibility, isn't it? That America means it must become a healthful life, America means a peaceful life, America means a joyful existence. America means a profound way of being. It is the responsibility of this generation to do it because the previous generation slogged, so that hoping that you will live well. But look at the mess we are creating. Yes? It's such a waste of their lives because they toiled 12, 16 hours a day, most of them toiled to build this nation so that future generations will live wonderfully well. But all we are doing is drugging ourselves, messing ourselves. Drug does not mean only that. 70% on prescription medication is not acceptable. It's not good. Maybe it's a great industry, but it's not good for human existence, isn't it? It is time we teach ourselves and our next generation that we must take charge of our experience. Our experience should be determined from within, isn't it? Oh, how do we get there? How long will it take? It's like this. Right now, the condition is like this. A man, you heard of Shankaran Pillai? Oh, I didn't know he was so popular. Shankaran Pillai was walking home. Those of you who don't understand, it's just a common name in India, John Smith, okay? Shankaran Pillai was walking home and he looked at his watch, it's only 9 o'clock. His wife's rules are 9:30 he must be back home. He thought there's still time. So he walked into the local bar and he thought he'll have a quick drink and go home. So he went into the bar, he had a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink. Then he looked at his watch. It said 2 a.m. You know, drinking people are like yogis, they're timeless. Then he wanted to rush home and he tried to rush home and he found a shortcut and was going through a garden, but then he fell headlong into a rose bush. His face became a mess. He gathered himself and somehow reached home. You know those damn keyholes, how small they've made them? He struggled, it took 20 minutes to find the damn thing. And then somehow he opened and crawled up to the bedroom. Fortunately, the wife was a big sleeper. So he slowly crawled in, went into the bathroom, looked at his face, it was a total mess. So he opened the medicine cabinet, applied medicine, took out Band-Aid, this, that, fixed himself up, slowly crawled into the bed and slept off. Morning 8 o'clock, the wife took a bucket of cold water and splashed it on him. He woke up waterboarded. He said, why, it's only Sunday? She said, you fool, once again drinking? He said, honey, 6 months ago I promised you. Since then I haven't touched a drop. She grabbed him by the shirt and dragged him into the bathroom and showed him. All the plaster was in the mirror. So right now, this is the approach. You want to be happy, fix the world. You want to be happy, fix this person. You want to be happy, fix that person. No. You want to be truly joyful, you got to fix this person, isn't it? Hello? Yes. Because human experience is coming from within. Oh, how long will it take? Someone came looking for Isha Yoga Center in southern India. I'm sorry. They came to I'm sorry. They came to a local village and they saw a young boy there and asked him, how far is Isha Yoga Center? He said, it is 24,996 miles. They said, what, that far? He said, yeah, the way you're going, if you turn around, it's 4 miles. What is inside, if you seek it outside, it's an endless journey. What is inside, you must seek it inside, isn't it? Is it true that human experience is generated from within? Hello? But now you have no faculties to turn inward. The 5 faculties of perception that you have, which is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching, through which you know the world, all of them are outward bound. You can see what's around you, you can't roll your eyeballs inward and scan yourself. You can hear this, so much activity, you cannot hear it. Even if an ant crawls upon this hand, you can feel it. So much blood flowing, you cannot feel it. In the very nature of things, all your sense organs are outward bound. This is the fundamental predicament of the human being. Human experience is caused from within, but your perception is all outward bound. If you want to turn inward, it will take a little bit of striving. This book, this Yogi's Guide to Joy, this book or this inner engineering is about simple methods with which you can turn inward. I know you're not willing to invest separate time for turning inward because you have to still conquer the world and many worlds. because on your phone you may be seeing the entire cosmos and you need to conquer all that. So, 24 tools through which you can turn inward without allotting specific times for them. You're driving, you can use one tool, you're working in your office, you can use another tool, you're walking in the street, you can use another tool. Simple things, simple aspects of life, making them tools for transformation. This is what this book is. This is my continuing effort to at least improve upon my failures a little bit. My plan was in 3 years I will make the world ecstatic. I'm nowhere near that. So please please make yourself into little more joyful human beings, if not for yourself, out of charity towards me. Because I want to live in a joyful world. What about you, huh? If you were given a choice between living and working with joyful people or miserable people, what is your choice? I want you to please remember, everybody else is expecting the same thing. They also want to live with joyful beings, isn't it? So this is the best thing you can do to yourself and the world around you, that at least you're a pleasant life. What great things you will do in your life or not, that is subject to various realities. Whether you will climb Mount Everest or not, we do not know. Will you run faster than Mr. Bolt or not, we do not know. Will you become the richest man in the world or not, we do not know. Will you dominate all the gangs in Chicago or not, we do not know. Because all these things are subject to various realities. But you being a pleasant piece of life is 100% in your hands if you take charge of it. This much you must do. This is the best thing you can do to yourself and people, those fortunate or unfortunate people who are around us. Yes? Every day, about 250,000 people die on this planet. Natural death, nearly that much goes. Tomorrow morning, if you wake up, see, 250,000 people won't wake up tomorrow morning. If you wake up, don't take this for granted, because this is not going to be there forever. I want you to understand, before you and me came here, countless number of people walked this planet. You think they were all idiots, that's why they died? Hello? They were also smart people like you and me, isn't it? Where are they now? All topsoil. This will also become topsoil unless somebody chooses to bury you real deep, fearing you may rise from the dead. I'm saying this is a brief happening. Life is a limited amount of time, it's a limited lease of time. Have you noticed this? On a particular day you are very joyful, 24 hours, poof, went off like a moment. Yes or no? Another day you're a little depressed, 24 hours feel like a eon. Yes or no? So what I'm saying is, only miserable people have a long life. If you're joyful, it gets over before you know what happened. If you're ecstatic, it'll go off in a blink. Yes. Now, being joyful is not the goal. It is a most fundamental requirement. If you wake up in the morning, if there is no joy in you, you will get this profoundly stupid question, to be or not to be. Yes? Yes or no? Every life on the planet, you try to catch one little worm somewhere, will the worm think, oh, I'm just a worm, let me die? Do you think so? It will do everything possible to live, isn't it? This is so with every life, so is this true with this one. But simply because human beings have been endowed with a certain level of cerebral activity and most people never learned how to handle this activity. Now they're getting these idiotic things about, they're going against